Where is that marble? Uh, Accelerated return. Yeah. So we have to make return of both. Third is a small Q&A session we can have because there are few questions which were there yesterday, which were thrown on collaterals and any other credit related question. If you want to ask, we can have customers which are largely or the base of the pyramid. Huge number of customers, they are usually serviced through BLG, BBG, whatever you want to call it. Kotak, it is called, I think, wholesale, working capital group. Okay. So this is one segment where the average ticket size would be like, 1.5 crore, 2 crore, although they go up to 20 crore. So even Kotak goes up to 15 crore. So this is the size with what they operate, but average ticket size would be 1.5 crore to 2 crore kind of size. It clearly works as a product business. So there are defined parameters. If you fit into the jacket, you are in. If you don't fit into jacket, you are out. So there you will not find them offering, fantastic rates of 8.5 and 8.75 because the idea is to bring them as an asset book and then they cross-sell them. I heard that HDFC has a cross-selling ratio of 1:9. So for every customer, they would have done 9 cross-selling to the customer. So this is the way they make money. As you move on, then there is an SME. And Kotak also, they have recently merged SME and mid-corporate recently. Last year only they merged. Otherwise, SME and mid-corporate were operating separately. So these SME are basically turnover up to 250 crore in HDFC, and after that comes ECG. Okay. Now ECG is again 250 to I think 1000 crore. So that is again the one which reflects our market, right? So in Kotak, as I mentioned, they have merged it. So Kotak as a size of SME and mid market is not. It's a reasonable size. But definitely from a market share perspective, they are not as large as HDFC Bank or anybody for that matter. So this is how they define, and then comes the large corporate. So we will focus on ECG kind of business.
How much is Kotak size of the mid market?
Look, they define from almost like 50 odd crore turnover to 750 crore as a SME, okay, which is including mid market. Roughly, it's a year-old data, but roughly it would be in the range of around 35,000 crore.
That's less than this.
Yeah, but yeah, and then they don't have real estate into this, they don't have agri into this, so that is separate. Okay, so that is so let's focus on HDFC. How they just look at the numbers. SME and ECG, both businesses have grown at an average of 35% for last 4 years. For a size like HDFC, so SME, which was around 40,000 crore, has become 90,000 crore. Okay, and HDFC ECG was around 70,000 crore, which has become now 1,50,000 crore. No, sorry. SME is 1,50,000 and ECG is 90,000. 90,000 may, if you remove the cash collaterals and all those, that is about 70 odd thousand crore is the book, which is March 19. So this year ka book would be different.
They cross 1 lakh.
1 lakh, no? So, but for both Kotak and HDFC, NPAs in this segment is minimal.
1.4.
Minimal. Okay, so they are able to identify right kind of customers and they are able to maintain the quality of the customers. So that's where once I'll start discussing the return part of it, this piece is very, very important from the return perspective. What they do, if you look at if you break up that entire 90,000 crore portfolio, which I am repeating what is already publicly available, 70% of business is working capital. It is only working capital. If you have seen HDFC or Kotak, they will never go for long-term loans. If you have seen multinational banks, they will never go for long-term loans. Why? We don't have capability of forecasting future. Let us understand the limitation and with which we operate. It is not that I don't know and you know, or you know and I don't know, whatever way. Nobody knows. Okay, so they have very well understood that we don't have the capability of building future or building projections of the customer. So let's focus on short-term funding. There are two advantages of that. One, you keep checking on every day what is happening with him. Because backside they have built a very strong monitoring mechanism where you continuously evaluate the customer, which like every day you are reviewing the account. Instead of doing it annually, you are actually reviewing on an everyday basis. Where RM every day comes and sees what happened to my customer's account yesterday. What kind of cash flow has gone, what kind of cash flow has come in, this kind of things, what are the income opportunities, how much money I have made, all those things are seen on daily basis. So this is like a recurring daily review. So that is the first advantage of it. Second, there is always inefficiency which will leave some money in your account. So that is the another return perspective that is there. Long term, as I mentioned, long term will always be amortizing. It creates fixed obligations. Okay, the businesses are very dynamic. It can be made. It could be external factors which will affect the business, or it could be internal factor which will affect the business. Either the intention, punting, whatever the customer does. So then in that situation, the business can be affected. But fixed obligations have to be fulfilled. So in past, if he has made money, that doesn't mean that he may make money in the future. And for foreseeable future, we don't know. So that is why usually, unless and until it becomes a necessary deal breaker, then only they get into the project funding or they get into the term loan funding, where they are very, very confident of promoter. So that is another way of doing this business. First becomes the promoter. Promoter is the key. For this segment, promoter is the key. I am giving him money to get it back. So return of principal is extremely important. So some basics have to be followed. That is promoter. And the promoter is worthy for me so long as he, in good times, bad times, he is able to give me my money back. The first rule of lending, which most of these banks follow, give money to somebody who has money. We are not into the social objective of promoting business. Let us understand. We are not in the business of promoting business. We are in the business of facilitating his business. So business has to come first, then my lending will come. Okay? So that is one rule which they follow very, very clearly. Second, control over greed. If something looks good, don't just take everything out of it. And something looks bad, but still you can work on it if you want to. So the thing is that our 70,000 crore portfolio is spread over 3,500 customers. The average size comes to 25 crore. So even for a customer, even for the businesses which are into 250 crore to 1,000 crore, their average ticket size is only 25 crore. So granularity is a must. That is the second rule. So even if it looks a great customer, they will not just go and offer 100 crore. Okay, just last week only we met one customer in Chennai. They have got 150 crore exposure on the customer. He is doing very well. He is a fantastic guy. But HDFC come and told that this is limit. After that, now you find a new banker. Another guy which we had met about 3 months back. Again, he is a fantastic promoter. He was putting up an US FDA plant and everything. They said we are sanctioning you 60 crore, but within 3 months you have to sell this 30 crore to some other bank. You have to get us taken over. So don't be greedy, and particularly when you are starting the relationship. Okay, let's top it up as we grow in the relationship and how we see the relationship. The thing is that if you go bad, you don't take the full hit, you don't take the large hit, and even if exit becomes easy, because other banks are ready to take it if the exposure is smaller. If it is larger, it will be difficult to exit. So exit has to be very, very critical. They have a very strong monitoring mechanism and no emotional attachment with any customer. Very clear. It has to be clinical. The moment the triggers show that there is a problem and it is deliberated internally and decided exit, then the questions are more on how and when you are exiting rather than acquiring a new customer. Because that is a hot potato in my hand and I have to get rid of them. So that is the clear strategy which we all have to follow. That keep force ranking your customers either from the risk perspective or from the return perspective, and the bottom one has to go. The churning is very, very important. You have to keep churning your portfolio. Don't get emotionally attached with the customer, because when he gets a letter for 50 basis point lower than or 25 basis point lower rate than you, he doesn't take a second to flash it off to you and ask you for reduction in the rate. So don't get emotionally attached. Don't waive penalties. This is something, so long as it is black and white, you have to charge, and particularly when the customer is exiting, they are very ruthless in charging the exit fees. No waivers. He will come back, whatever, that's a different thing. So what they are doing is a very professional approach, okay, in the banking. They don't follow industry. They don't follow any product, neither Kotak nor HDFC. It is a customized solution they offer to each and every customer. So you have to understand the working capital requirement of the customer, not based on MPBF method, but on the cash flow mismatch, which is based on stock statement, banking and all, just not based on balance sheet. And follow logic. If the business is not growing at 25%, why would I grow his limit by 25%? Simple. So you have to just follow logics, and that is what they are doing. Okay, so this is the different approach what they are following in taking over the customer, and this will help in terms of maintaining the quality of the portfolio. Besides monitoring, so monitoring part also we are building here, and you will start getting the triggers for everything, and then we'll have to have a discussion and it has to be exited. Or we have to reduce the exposure, right? We may go wrong in some of the decisions, but those are acceptable mistakes. Okay, so this is how usually the Kotak and HDFC operate in this space. There are always good players in negative industries. There are always bad players in the positive industry. Large part of churning, large part of sourcing happens through branches and the wealth team. As I mentioned, first rule of lending, give money to somebody who has money. So wealth is a very big source of sourcing for them. Okay, so that is one of the big difference, and probably we are also now we'll have to work closely with branches and get those deals who have been dealing with us. The customers are dealing with us. We have a good franchisee, so we should work on those kind of deals where we are generated by branches. So this is what briefly the model what HDFC and Kotak follows. As far as return are concerned, probably you would have found that they are offering 8.6 and 8.7. I always believe that the biggest difference between a successful bank and not so successful bank is not the margin you make on asset. It is the other income what you make on the asset and the quality of portfolio what you have. These are the two important things which are very, very critical and which makes a big difference to your ROE. No case is taken if ROE is not acceptable or you don't have a plan to reach a defined ROE level. So if you are not able to make money, let it be a AAA customer. It has no meaning for me if I am not going to make return or not. Or I don't have opportunity to make return and I monitor it that have I made return on it or not. If I have not made return, we let him go. So very, very you have to understand the cost of capital. Capital is costly. Don't waste on only emotional ground and you end up doing only 5% return on the customer or something like that. And that return comes from other income. As I mentioned, HDFC has a strategy that they always have a separate current account and a separate lending account. As a strategy they follow this. All the companies have two accounts whenever they lend. One is a current account and one is a lending account. Idea is that all the cash flow will move through current account and your lending will be the CC account. Certain percentage of customers will always have inefficient way of managing this accounts. So you end up earning on the CC account and you end up earning on the float of the current account. So these are the ways we have to find out of working smartly and improving our return. Now you may find that my few customers are very intelligent. Okay, we'll have only one account for them. But there is still a lot of 50-60% of customers who are inefficient. They don't understand. The banking is something which we understand. For him, banking is only probably 10 to 15% of his business. And also understand that changing a bank is a bigger decision for him than us. It takes minimum 6 months to 9 months for a transition to happen. It is a transition for him. So he is more worried about you as a banker than we worried about him as a client. For us it is a 3 months transition phase. For him it is a 6 months to 9 months transition phase. So it has to be a very wise decision by the promoter that just for 25 paisa he will not move. There has to be something more on the table for which he must be taking that decision. So return, as I mentioned, NIM is only one part of it. The major source of return comes from the liability. Now it could be from, again we are focusing ports, everything. So these are basics, okay, which we have to just keep on reinforcing on our team and ensuring that we get our pie in the our share in the pie. So that is what we have to keep reinforcing. There is nothing new they do. There is nothing which they do and we are not aware. We are all aware. Only thing is that a consistent execution of that strategy. And it is all basics. So it is not something which they have got very intelligent people who do credit, very intelligent RMs who do a fantastic sourcing, or very great people who write a great notes. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Understanding of business, linking your financial with the business model, facilities with the business model, and return. Most important thing. And how do I get my liability? These are the three stages they follow. And fourth is a monitoring, that if there is a problem, exit. First thing, exit. If you have to re-enter, we will re-enter. But that is how they do. So this was from my side on these two aspects. There was some questions yesterday on collateral, how much collateral we should take, and if it is a AA rated customer, should I give a discount? if he is giving me maximum collateral. So these are two independent things. Okay, collaterals are a must. It is not that something, because we don't know which customer will go bad. So the simple rule which I follow, two questions I always ask in the end to the customer, which I always believe that should be asked at the end. One relating to pricing and second relating to collateral. Because you are not funding his collateral. You are funding his business. Understand his business, and before you understand his business, you understand your business. I am doing business. So first understand your business. My business is return of principal is a must. Return on principal is a must. So if I am able to qualify a customer in my business parameter, then it makes business sense for me. And then you understand his business. The thing is that once you understood the business, then comes the pricing. How I am structuring the facility can give you a pricing advantage. So you may give a FBD, you may give a EPC. Okay, but FBD is a lower risk business comparatively, and EPC is a higher risk business. So usually they will end up giving EPC at a higher rate and FBD at a lower rate, for the simple reason that that is a lower risk business. They will give CC, they will give a WCDL. WCDL again gives you a rate advantage in terms of short term borrowing. So this is how they control the margin. So even though on CC you will find that they are making 2% or 2% only, but on WCDL probably they would be making 2.15, 2.25. So this is how they improve the returns on the asset. Collateral, few rules you have to follow, simple. If somebody is changing the bank, whatever he has given to his existing bank, why would he not give it to me? So this is how I decide collateral cover. Okay. Second, this tool of Marvel will actually help you in determining the collateral, because although there is no module on security in Marvel. Higher the PD reflects higher risk. So you have to some way down the line keep in your mind that I need higher collateral. What I felt that I should share with you. In case you want to ask, you have any questions, we can have those. Yes?
With ICICI Bank, we have BLG, SME and mid corporate. Yesterday Suprita was saying BLG team can sanction up to 1,000 crore turnover, which conflicts with the turnover criteria what MCG has.
BLG team can sign up to 1,000 crore?
1,000 crore turnover they can sanction.
I don't know. At least I am not aware 1,000 crore they can sign.
No, after turnover up to 1,000 crore, they can sanction for any company which is up to 1,000 crore turnover. So the limit is 20 crores. So given that from MCG perspective, how that will coincide, other banks not having that criteria.
150 to 200 crores say they start from 1
दोनों HDFC में भी बहुत ओवरलैपिंग होता है.
इसमें बहुत बड़ा
More important if you can throw light on from their perspective, today what we have in ICICI Bank, if you measure 1 to 10 or ratio of 100% coverage between there, where are we? Because then our expectation, mindset and perspective to develop that part is also.
So if you ask me from where I come and see the way things, what we are doing, I think we have just begun the journey of underwriting a good portfolio. One, the two things which have changed dramatically in last 1 year since I have joined. One, our entire focus was on project funding or long-term funding. Our entire focus was on contractor, bank guarantee kind of funding. That has moved. Okay, now most of the customers I find that we have moved to manufacturers, and that is the portfolio which HDFC and Kotak has written. Okay, they generally don't do traders, right? So that is a one thing which we have moved forward. Another thing which I had noticed when I came that most of our customers had a banker, which are low-rung bankers, Central Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, UCO Bank, expecting a good quality customer being there is a low probability. So one movement which has happened, probably we have changed our friends now. Now we are talking to customers where HDFC is also making a counter offer. Okay, so we have moved that needle of approaching the right kind of customers. Okay, the things which we have to still work, and we have started working on it. Facility structure. We believe that this customer is good for 20 crore means you give 20 crore in whatever form it is acceptable. That doesn't work. It has to be structured. It has to be transaction based. Where you are able to see the cash flow for each and every transaction. That is the thing which we have to work. So like if the business is seasonal, you don't end up giving entire CC or don't end up giving an OD only because the DP is not setting. It is like, we are blindfolding ourselves from the risk, potential risk. If it's a seasonal business, understand its seasonality and give seasonal limit for that particular period. But you have to structure the deal. You have to ensure that EPC risk gets converted into FBD. That's how you convert your risk and you reduce your risk on those customers. Third is we have started demanding the cash flow of various business pertaining to business as well as surrounding cash flow. Okay, so that is a good thing. We have to continue to put pressure that if I am a banker, minimum I need is the proportionate share. Minimum. If I am getting more, you should be happy. But the only thing is that we should try to make float income out of it. So that is the structuring and smartness we will have to use. How you do in that particular case, that you have to find out. Okay, so don't always rely on that, product guidelines, parameters given by central office. We are not in the market. You guys are in the market. This segment cannot be approached by a in a product manner. Although we call this as a product, but it cannot be approached as a product. You have to understand the requirement and you have to give him facilities according to his requirement so that he remains in your control. As far as post-sanction is concerned, okay, let me admit even wahan pe bhi deferrals are as high as what we talk here. So that is a routine game. So that happens, people clean, new PD, the post-disbursement deferrals are generated and the game carries on. Okay, so that is continues. But monitoring is very strong. So that is something which we have started last year under Praveen's team, CMT, where we have started monitoring the accounts on a quarterly basis. But the vigor with which we should have monthly meeting on those cases is something we have to push for it. It cannot be an item if I have got a time. It has to be a discussion on a fixed date with no deviation to anybody for absenteeism. The responsibility of exit is at a very, very senior level. So I have seen the presidents or the EDs, they don't participate in your sourcing call, but they definitely attend the monitoring call. 90%, 99 standalone term loans, contractors, I think we have now said Tata goodbye to those kind of customers. We have already moved to manufacturers, and most of our composition is already reached about 60-70% working capital, and balance is about term loan, LC, those kind of things what we offer. Another point which was there with ICICI, we were never reducing the creditors from the DP, which was a big mistake. So that we have already started, that for all NCA cases, creditors have to be reduced. Okay, if he doesn't have DP, that then you know that he has misused the funds. And we'll find a way of funding that customer if he is really worthy. If he is not, we will not do it. So these are some of the things which we have done in last 1 year. But yeah, a lot of work has to be done yet in terms of monitoring perspective, and everybody has to remain vigilant. Every RM has to see his allocated accounts daily basis. Every RM, every credit guy will have to go and visit that customer in between the reviews to see whether what is happening with that customer. And we have to develop market intelligence in terms of market reference. That will always give you a lot of information about the customer, which will not be there in the financial.
For DP, that has I think become applicable for SMEG.
And MCG.
MCG. So at a bank level, if we are clear on this, then why at a bank level we are not following for all groups? That
Okay.
in the standard term sheet for wholesale banking group, it's not mentioned that creditors needs to be deducted for drawing bar. So we are part of wholesale banking. So maybe that will come as a process. It will come.
So there is
There's a difference between two risk
so
groups. So that's
if I throw some numbers, he is video recording me, so I can't throw that number to you. So we have done some analysis, and because it's not that a simple decision that tomorrow onwards I say that reduce creditor. Okay, and there is a reason why we have said that we are making it applicable only for NCA and for existing customer on case-to-case basis. So there is a reason behind it. The impact was very large, what analysis we had done, and based on that it was taken a call that let's first plug the leaking bucket.
emerging corporate. She told that they are not doing any term loan in emerging corporate. They are only doing working capital. But in HDFC there are many other groups apart from emerging corporate. In emerging corporate, they have stopped. Maybe they are doing the difference. So I'm just sharing.
Okay, let us speak here. First, let us speak.
I'm just sharing my experience.
Yeah.
Because HDFC is just neighbor to us in East. So they are part of emerging corporate, and they told that going forward they won't be doing term loan. But there are other groups in HDFC like infra group, and then there's a separate group for agri or maybe priority sector. So there is apart from like this BLG or BBG, what we call, and SMEG and MCG, they have many other business groups, and they are doing this infra funding or project fundings and long-term funding, and maybe cases priority sector, they are doing it long-term. So like what exactly is being followed in HDFC? It's not very clear.
Look, large part of segment what we are looking at, anyway I don't know their internal structure to that nitty-gritty level what you're asking me. But even in Kotak there are multiple groups like this. Infra is also there, agri is also there. There is an overlapping of business happening, so ECG has rejected the deal, so it may go to agri and agri may do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so end of the day, the strategy what they follow, that every business head is responsible for the P&L what he is managing. A broad guideline. I find ICICI mein everything is like written black and white. HDFC and Kotak mein itna written nahi hai.
Yes.
Okay, it is more. It comes from what you hear in the various meetings and the direction overall what bank gives. They don't stop you from doing like standalone term loan in one of the case. Okay, if the business head feels or business feels that it's a very, very strong case and I have to do it, so they will do it. Okay, but as such there is no guideline that you can't do. But generally they will ensure that they will not do long term. Infra and all, that's a separate segment. So there is a various parameters on which they monitor that portfolio. They do lot of retailing in the infra. So they club this. So like you can do auto to dealer, at the same time you do retailing of auto also. So they do real estate and then probably they do retailing of home loan also. So somewhere down the line they mitigate the risk involved with that industry. Now unless and until we develop that expertise of funding infra customers and we feel that it is a high return portfolio for us, then only we will develop that skill. Right now we feel that we have enough available in the plate, which we understand.
The creditors, and in some banks they were subtracting the complete creditors. So technically, when we do the MPBF, we in the CMA we have some, because it's an ongoing concern, we have some level of creditors. Okay, so MPBF is arrived after giving some level of creditor in the CMA itself. So to subtract the entire creditor itself is a wrong. I think it's a wrong thing to do. Rather, we should subtract what we have prescribed, what we have projected in next year. Over that limit, we can subtract it.
Okay, this is I'm sorry for using some harsh word, but it is more an academic approach. Okay, which is given by some committee of IAS officer. Okay. Simple thing you have to follow is that how much money he has spent on acquiring that inventory and blocking on data. You are giving working capital for that purpose. So only the paid inventory and the money which is blocked in data, which you feel is not bad. These are the only working capital requirement. Correct? So if that is the working capital requirement, I will apply margin on it and I will give him facility according to that. As far as projections are concerned, while you are giving him the limit, you have already factored in whatever growth you are expecting in FY 20 and 21. That's where you have capped the limit of CC. As and when the turnover grows, inventory build-up happens over a period of time, your CC utilization or DP will go up. That is another thing which I have already mentioned. Don't go by MPBF and balance sheet method of funding. No private banks, no smart banks follow that funding method.
Sir, here we are not even supposed to change from method 2 to method 1.
That is what I am saying. We can mention in the proposal we are doing MPBF 1 or MPBF 2, which even HDFC and Kotak also mention in the proposal. But while they are calculating it, it is purely based on stock statement. So MPBF, you can always give lower or higher than MPBF. The biggest flaw is that if your working capital cycle, net working capital cycle is only 30 days, you still end up giving 90 days. And then you will follow him that where has he used my money? Why would I do that? I will be careful before giving money, na? Understand the difference. We don't have to be social, we don't have to run with social objective. I need my money back. Okay, most of us, may feel that we are a sales guy. Actually, we are not sales guy. The customer is choosing you. We are actually purchasing a customer. After you buy him, he becomes a monkey on your back in asset business. You have to worry about it. If I am buying a right monkey.
No, I was trying to know the logic behind the whole subtraction rather than the partial subtraction.
Paid stock. If somebody has not even paid to his creditor, why would I go and fund him? Double funding ho gaya na? What will he do with that money if the intention is clear that I am not going to misuse this fund? So why would he take that money when he is not even paid to creditor? This is the biggest problem with EPCL. Let me tell you, export packing is one of the most abused facility. What happens? He gives a one-line order. I have got so many pieces order worth rupees 5 crore. Second day or the same day, bank cuts a check with 10% margin. 4 crore 50 lakhs or 4 crore 75 lakhs credited in his current account. He has not even placed order for the inventory. And we have given him 4.75 crore. So, in HDFC and Kotak, even EPC is linked to DP. You show me the enough inventory, then only, and paid inventory, then only you will get EPC. You need to have tighter control over the money what you have given to the customer. So that is the logic. The thing what you are talking is academic. So for meeting the RBI compliance, we'll mention we are following MPBF 1 and MPBF 2. Don't record 24% and 30%. How? You give me money, okay, I am giving you these 2 flats against that as a security, and if I am not able to return the money, you take the flats. What happened? EPC given at 4%, straight went to 24% loan to real estate. Even 20% margin so he can't make in his business. So this is what happens. And then you chase him. Where is my money? So you have to be careful. What we have to change the approach is that we will not monitor him after giving money. We want to be full control when I am giving money.